Hey everybody, welcome to your July 2022 week 1 reading. If you haven't had a chance to check out the July 2022 reading for the entire month, please go ahead and read it. It's already up on Instagram and YouTube. God bless. So let's take a look at what's going on for us between July 1st and July 10th. So that's 10 days. That's me sitting in the chair. So let's tune in. So June 9th, what am I saying? Whoa, is that for somebody? Wow, where did that come from? Okay. I was actually going to say the month of June, so somebody's already getting some messages here. But for the month of June, remember June was all about building awareness, about yourself, inner awareness. And July is just gearing up to be a month where you really have to be mindful of what energies are being presented to you. Because if I remember right, it was March of 2022. Back in March, we kind of had a similar energy where it's almost like, not to say whatever you wished you would get, but the energy was one where you're more likely to receive what it is that you're asking for and to get a yes. Whether it's a yes to that job promotion, a yes to that date request, or somebody that you want to date, whatever it is, you're more likely to get a yes. And so just because you get a yes doesn't mean it's something that you should get involved with, okay? So just remember that you still have to use discernment. Now, if you've been doing your due diligence since the month of June by being alert, staying aware, setting your intention to, see what is, and basically just doing your best to align with your health and well-being. Ooh, these two cards. Ooh, what are those? Oh, okay. You two? Maybe. Okay. Well, then you probably have a better chance of really being mindful in this month. Okay. Now, totally makes sense. Rest. Can you guys see that actually? Let me pull this here. We do have the rest card coming out. But I have to be honest, the energy says rest. And of course, in the month of July, you might feel there are certainly energies of rest in the air, definitely. But I feel like underneath the surface, there is a lot going on. And in fact, this week, the month of July has already started off with people receiving energetic downloads. In fact, I'm still feeling some leftover in my throat. As I'm talking to you about this, I'm realizing, that's why my throat's been feeling really tight. It just made sense. Okay, it's some energies are still there. So you're going to be working through a lot of energy. I'm also hearing money, so be mindful of your spending. But if you find yourself overspending, I kind of am not getting so negative or cautionary of a read on that. It feels more like, okay, well, a lot's going on, and you're spending a lot of money in order to assess something, to get something done, or maybe it's a coping mechanism. It almost feels a little bit like, okay, if it's in the month of July, you get a little bit of a pass, because again, the energies feel like a tempest, but there's this skin over it that seems like rest. So we see this card here with this lovely lady resting, but underneath imagine she's resting on I can't even talk today. Look at it, what I'm saying, the throat chakra. She's resting on some stormy waters there. Anyway, breakthrough and mother, I love that. So we do have some breakthrough energies. Forgive my nails, guys, God bless. I'm just a little busy, but we're doing it. So breakthrough energies, this is what's happening. These energies are coming through and they're leading to breakthroughs for a lot of you, but it's almost like so many undulations. Like you have a breakthrough and then it's like, okay, back down again, and now another breakthrough, back down again, another breakthrough. So you're going to be hit by a couple of breakthroughs, maybe up to 5 is what I'm getting, and some, if not all, are going to be a little bit like epiphanies. So that's why we call them a breakthrough. But at the same time, we see this breakthrough energy coinciding with this mother energy. But this mother energy, as we see it, shows actually more of the rest energy. So again, you're going to be in I wanted to say another word, again, I don't even know what word I was going to say, but the word they want me to say is enduring. You're going to be enduring quite a bit of energetic influxes for the month of July. But you've got this. Look at another card. She's at rest here. You've got this contemplation. The contemplation surge. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, ooh, okay. The big influx of energy, the surge energy. And of course we, well, I don't want to get into too much, but there is something that's happening that happened. I'm sure you're hearing about it. Let's say it's an exploratory thing that has led to a big shot of energy as well throughout the world. So you're going to be feeling that as well, a surge, right? But this contemplation card came out 2 times in one of the daily readings that I did, if not yesterday, then 2 days ago. But yeah, it's interesting. Choices. Let's get into it. So Spirit is saying, all of a sudden my throat's kind of like opening up. I don't know. Spirit is saying, we see the energies. We see the stage. The stage is set in the sense that, okay, there is a large influx of energy. It's creating undulations within the energetic space that we're in as the collective, but also within our energetic fields. In other words, the energy is tumultuous. But that being said, you're going to experience periods of epiphany, and then boo. You might even have residual emotions that come as a result of these epiphanies, because of course anytime we have something come to mind, our minds then go to assess it and assign an emotion to it. But the guides are saying that in light of all that will be happening, it's very important that you take the time to contemplate. And to contemplate means to receive the energy, receive the thoughts, receive the emotions, to acknowledge that you're receiving it, and to find time to be on your own so that you can have an independent thought and an independent emotion of what it is that you're receiving. Now, that being said, they're also asking you to balance what conclusions you make about the thoughts and the feelings that you have and experience as a result of this epiphany or this event, these epiphanies or these events in your life. Because what happens is something happens, we feel it, and then, the ouch, or the initial emotion, the shock, the ouch, the whatever. Then we have thoughts about it. We make it mean something. Then we have emotions that coincide with that just serve to reinforce what we are thinking. And then it hits knee-jerk potential. It hits our wounds sometimes. And so we have knee-jerk reactions if we move unconsciously. The difference between unconscious movement and conscious movement is that when you're conscious, your dialogue goes something like this. Ow. That hurt. I recognize I got hurt. What's the emotion? Oh, I'm angry and I'm feeling helpless and I'm feeling a little hopeless, and it's also taking me back to when I was younger and I felt like I didn't matter and this and that, and I am aware of what action I want to take. I want to punch that person in their face, but I'm actually not going to do that because I understand that I'm having a natural reaction to what has happened, and I have to create a space for myself, the contemplation space, to have the stimulus and have the reaction within, and then to make a choice on how I want to respond. And so people who walk the world unconsciously, they do nothing but react. They react to all the waves that hit their energy field. And those who respond understand that it's possible and it's okay and it's advisable to still experience your emotions and thoughts and to have that whole experience, but to do so in a way where you don't automatically react. You go through it and then you regroup, and as a unit, you within yourself and as an adult, you come together with yourself and you make a decision about how you're going to respond to that thing. And that's a matter of growth. Growth comes by way of gaining consciousness, by way of gaining self-awareness. And that means being aware that, hey, something happened. Some people aren't even aware that something happened. They just shoot right into it. It means being aware not only that something happened, but that something has affected you and that it has led to you having certain thoughts and certain emotions. Some of those thoughts and emotions are turned inward in a negative way, and sometimes they're turned outward. And then realizing that as a mature adult, you're able to have these feelings and thoughts and to observe yourself having those thoughts and feelings, and then to be able to make a decision. Okay, I know I just said that like 3 times in different ways, but I hope you get the point. And so Spirit is saying to be mindful of your choices. We've been beating that drum for quite a while. But let's take another look at this. It's now asking you to be mindful at a deeper level. Okay, so this is where you start, roll up the sleeves a little bit, because we're not talking to the little ones anymore. We're talking to you. You've advanced a little bit. So now we can have this conversation, is the energy I'm getting with it. And that conversation looks like, did you know that you can become aware of the myriad facets to yourself that are inside? And what does that look like? That looks like, again, you can always start with any stimulus that happens in your life, anything that someone says, if you experience something, somebody does something, or you have to, could be something as simple as, oh my God, my boss told me I had to work late, that hits you a certain way. You can make choices on the inside as well. And that simply looks like, okay, I'm going to take a moment, I'm going to sit, and I'm going to look at all of the different parts of me that are reacting. So in an oversimplified universe, we think, oh my gosh, something happened and made me mad. Oh, something happened and made me happy. Something happened and made me sad. Something happened and made me afraid. But actually, it's actually more realistic to know that you have many, 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 many competing feelings, some of which are contradictory. Okay, quick example. Let's say that all right, let's use the one, my boss asked me to work late. So your boss asks you to work late on Friday. And you're like, I wanted to go out and I wanted to have fun. Of course, you don't tell your boss that. And there you are working late. And here you are, so conflicted. Your first and your dominant feeling is like, I'm pissed. I'm angry because I'm the only one in the office and I have to work late today, and you're huffing and you're puffing and you're upset. Now, if you're a real G, you're going to be like, okay, I know that I'm more multifaceted than this. Let me tune in and maybe even write it down to every emotion, every person's face, every whatever that pops into my mind over the next 30 minutes. You might find that you have anger, that you feel picked on, you feel like you're the little guy, inner child wounding already. You're the little guy, the low guy on a totem pole. You're the one the boss asked. You feel like you want to kill somebody, maybe if that's where you're at. You also have a little bit of a reckless and destructive part of you, a little savage, and you kind of are entertaining messing with something in the boss's office. You're also not realizing that you're in self-sabotage mode and you're acting out and you're like, F it, if I'm going to be here late, I'm going to use my company credit card to get dinner, and then talk yourself into about how you deserve that because this is not fair, and victim complex and unrestrained activity. So now you're lashing out. So far that's 6 7 already, right? 7 little parts of you. Then there's a part of you that you probably don't notice, but there's a part of you that kind of feels a sense of pride because, oh, well, the boss kind of asked me, and all these people, they're gonna hate it when they come in to work on Monday and they have more work to do because they weren't here over the weekend, and I have less work to do, and I'm probably gonna get a better promotion, and the boss is gonna, So the whole point is, you can have some negative and positive reactions to something that enters into your energy field. Look at this cute little tree and then this bubble here. Imagine that as your energy field. And you see this butterfly coming in. It doesn't matter what energy it is, whether it's a person, place, thing, situation, idea that hits the physical boundaries of your energy field, basically. It's going to register in some way. And so when you're really being surgical about looking at yourself and becoming aware of what's happening within your first home, which is your energy field, you can start to pick up on thoughts and emotions and even things that will manifest and that are already on their way to manifesting into your physical reality by sensing the movements here. And so many times we get caught unawares by things that happen in our physical life, even if they're accidents, whatever. And then, for example, if you come and you have a reading with a reader, for example, me, this happens so many times, and we look at something that happened, I'll be like, oh, but I feel that you already knew this. The guides are saying you already knew it. I'm seeing it in your energy field that they've been telling you this for the past 2 weeks. And the person's like, no, that's impossible. How was I supposed to know I was going to get into a fender bender here? Like, it's not possible. But then when we go through and we look at, some stuff that's in the field and the guides say some stuff, the person, most times, if not all the times, they're like, okay, well, yeah, I guess you're right. I did actually know that. I do remember I did. Even down to the fact of like, oh, I just watched a movie on TV where this same thing that I went through happened. And, there's signs coming at us all the time. By the time it comes into your physical environment, the signs were already there. And so that's kind of the difference between being conscious and unconscious. Now, this doesn't mean that you could see everything, but you might be surprised at how much you are missing because you didn't look, or you didn't know how to look, or you didn't know where to look, or maybe you're not creating the conditions that will allow you to tune in. Maybe you're numbing yourself with substances. Maybe you're watching too much TV. Remember, all of that is energy. You're just crowding your consciousness with things. Maybe every time you finally get some time to yourself, you give the time away. Oh, let me call so-and-so and see how they're doing. Or let me go do this. Let me go do that. And so you're not actively creating the conditions for yourself that are conducive to having a clear space. And so here we come back to this contemplation. Everybody and their mother wants to be able to do stuff and to know stuff and to see stuff and to feel stuff. But most people are not willing to take the steps that are necessary to create an energy field that is conducive to self-awareness. Okay? And sometimes you may say, but I don't know where to start, Jay. And my answer is always the same. You don't have to do anything more than to, number one, find someplace quiet or just sit, close your eyes, set your intention to have this awareness come up within you. You don't have to know how, you don't have to know why, you don't have to know where, you don't even have to regard how good you are at it. You just say, you know what, and have fun with it. You know what, I'm kind of interested, so I'm willing to create the space to become more self-aware. Show me the signs. All right, universe, show up and show out. So that's my intention. I'm giving you a month to start. Yeah, you might say, start paying attention to me, but they're like, dude, we've been paying attention to you. It's time for you to pay attention to us. Because look at all these cute little butterflies flying around her, and there's like a whole flower right in front of her face, but her eyes are closed. So that's usually the way it goes. And so when people start to awaken more, what happens is that they start to become more aware of what's happening, and then they start to have what they might be like, oh my God, that's so crazy, I was just thinking about you and you called. And yeah, because you're able to see and experience more. Look at this, with the woman with this big beautiful flower that's now moving aside so she can see. You see? So clarity here, contemplation. Clarity comes by way of contemplation. And contemplation at the beginning is just merely just finding a quiet place. Look, progress. right? So let's go back to this energy of the surge. So again, in July, we're starting July off with a big bang is what I've, this is the second Big Bang reference that I've had in this reading. I didn't mention the other one, but this is the second one. We're starting July off with a big bang because we have been having surges coming in for us. And because of that, you may be feeling all types of things depending on who you are. But there's a high possibility that part of what you may be experiencing is confusion. Maybe you don't know what to do. Maybe you're feeling indecisive, maybe whatever. Spirit's like, take the time to pause, rest, because the energy is flowing so much. Look, this card, release, metamorphosis. The energy is coming in and it's flowing so much that it's going to kick up any energies that are already in there. Remember, we can't see what truly is, as A Course in Miracles says. We cannot see, we don't really think. The best that we can do is that we think we're seeing something and we think we're feeling something, but we're actually not. And the reason why is because we are misperceiving of things, because we have distorted beliefs within our energy field, right? And so basically you're projecting your inner thoughts, emotions, beliefs, all of that onto the world outside of you. And from an energy healing standpoint, what that basically looks like is your own energy coming out of your chakra and coming right back in to the same chakra and being interpreted as, something coming out from outside. And it's just confirmation bias all over the place. And so the whole point is anytime energy comes in, you always just let it come in just like this. Let it wash over you. Let it come in. Give it some time to sit and settle in and all of that. And then try to, maybe make heads or tails of what you're seeing, what you're feeling, because otherwise you're not going to be seeing it clearly. And we see this happen all the time. For example, always around the retrogrades. Let's say Mercury retrograde or Venus retrograde. It's just energy affecting you, and then all of a sudden, or even around eclipses, anything where there's a lot of energy in the air, a lot of stuff going on around the moons, the water moons, where emotions are key. People experience the flow of energy, and they misinterpret it because someone's face popped into their mind, or they had this thought, and then they think that because they had that thought is real, or because they thought about that person was there, and it's not true. And if I could just reach out to everyone and say, no, don't call your ex. Don't call your ex. Don't call your ex. It's Mercury retrograde. The energies are messing with you. Things are coming back around. Just because your ex popped into your mind does not mean it is time to give that man or that woman a call, okay? So this is in a nutshell what this card is right here. Choices. Just because you're dealing with a surge of energy in July, because you're having stormy seas on the inside, because it's also happening on the outside, you have to be mindful to not jump to conclusions about what it is that you think you're seeing and what it is that you think you're hearing, right? Because, and what it is that you think you're thinking, because as A Course in Miracles reminds us, we're not really thinking, seeing, hearing, blah, 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 blah. We're doing our best down here, but you have to remember that taking the time to sit with yourself and to become aware of what's happening, when something happens, how does it make you feel? What does it make you think? What is your knee-jerk reactions? Who do you run to? Why are you doing that? You have to understand you. Otherwise, you're just going to be reacting, and I have to be honest, many choices don't need to be made. I know it's controversial, but 9 months later, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm sorry, love you. Okay, we have potentials, and not all potentials need to be activated. You could have, that one Mardi Gras. I'm just saying, not everything's destiny, but, or maybe you shouldn't have bought that house at this time, or maybe, but we would feel compelled to do something because we had a reaction and we didn't realize that you were just reacting because you didn't realize it's just energy hitting your field. Look at this card. Super cute, but super whoa, right? Yeah, it looks like Kali, right? But anyway, look at her. She's walking with all of this stuff. And look at the energy in the back. Download came in for her and kicked up her fears, kicked up energies inside. She had some thoughts, she had some feelings. And, instead of taking a moment to contemplate, give herself self-care, buy that cute little inner child of hers, that cute little ice cream that she likes, and have hot chocolate and things like that. Instead, she thought, okay, well, I feel enraged about this because I'm remembering this thing from the past, and I'm going to, I'm feeling grief and I'm feeling this, and I'm just going to go and act out, and because this feels like the right thing to do. Always remember, things will feel like the right thing to do. You will think things are the right thing to do because, of course, it makes sense to you. And if you have a lot of people around you who are going through some similar things and are not aware also of themselves or even of the healthy aspects of the collective, they're going to feel and think that it's logical and it makes sense too. But you have to understand that everybody thinks and feels their way into logic and into things like empathy and compassion based on their core beliefs. So if your core belief is off, you're going to have thoughts that are off. You're going to have feelings that are off. And these thoughts and feelings are going to feel like they make sense to you. Okay? Now, it might sound, look at this guy. Super cute, but also it's kind of giving this feeling. Look how he's here and he's caught up in all these branches. And it's like, well, what do I do then if I don't know what's real? A Course in Miracles, if you know me, I love that. I love that book. You don't have to know what to do. I always say the best thing to do is stop, surrender in the moment, and you just say, hey, is anybody out there? I don't know. God, is that you? Shiva, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm seeing things right, but doggone it, look at the visionary card calling us in. My intention is to align 27 minutes, 27 seconds on this call, to align with my heart, to align with true love. And I'm not talking anything about romance. There is nothing about romance in this reading, so don't even start trying to wander into that territory. I'm talking about your full-on listen. Where are you, God? Who are you? What am I doing? Are you even real? I don't care. Universe, listen up. I'm ready to get onto the path of my highest good. And I don't need to know what that is. All I'm looking for is to have a change in my perception. And that's it. And then you let it go. And you allow for your enlightenment to occur. You allow for your awareness to be shifted. Because you see, it's not something that you do. You can do your best, as I always say, really try to create the conditions so that it's conducive. So basically, really try to drink more water. You must drink more water. Drink more water, limit the TV time, stop with all the news. That you don't have to keep up all day, every day with the news. You're just buying into a whole bunch of stuff that, anyway, that's another story. But if you're in the angel hospital, let's say that you're trying to get into to get this shift going, you can take a hiatus from the news, okay? You can do it. And if you can't, then you have bigger problems. So minimize the influences. Oh, thank you. That was them. Because I was going to say, I'm thinking influences like people. They're like, no, they know what we're talking about. This turtle knows. We're talking about substances. minimize the influences. Just give yourself the month. It's July. It's July. I know it's a summer month. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't plan this. Here we are, 4th of July, we want to kick back. But anyway, after that, give yourself the month or whenever you're watching to clear. Give yourself the time to sit every day. If you can, at least 10 minutes, you can do it. If you can wait in line at Starbucks for 10 minutes, you can do this, okay? Give yourself the time. Try to clean up that diet, drinking more water, get rid of certain foods if you can. You don't have to be perfect. I'm just giving you ideas to help create the space. But remember, Spirit meets you where you are. So your job is simple. I acknowledge that I have a lot going on. I don't know what I'm not seeing right. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But I'm willing to have a change in perception that's in alignment with love. That's it. That's it. And so there you go. Look at this. If this doesn't, guys, look, we're not even shuffling right now. See this tree? It's like a love child for these two cards. This is representing you all caught up, right? I don't know what I'm doing. And here you are again, it's the tree. And here, this is representing you calling out and saying, you know what? I'm willing to have a change in perception that is in alignment with the heart, with love. Please help me to return to the state of love. You're already in a state of love. You just forgot. That's the distortion. That's the misperception. Please return me to awareness of who I really am, which is just a state of love. And so we have the tree with the heart. Here we have the tree with the heart, and that's alignment. 31 minutes, 13 seconds, that's 3113. That's your alignment. And so in order to make progress, this month, the guides are, and this week, let's get started, right? The guides are coming through and saying, hey, why don't you, they're so cute. These cards are really cute, by the way. Why don't you go ahead and make that prayer? Okay. So in case you missed it, one more time, look, advancement. Listen, aren't we talking about this? And stability. One more time. If I were you, I'm just kidding. And I'm saying this because I'm doing this too. I do the work too. We only teach what we need to learn, okay? Don't listen to anybody who says other than that. We teach what we need to learn. But this is what I'm doing. You don't have to do it. But if I were you, I would try it. It goes simply, hey angels. Or I talk to mine like, hey guys. That's how I pretty much talk to my team. Hey guys. So I'm willing, guys, to have a change in perception this month at 32 minutes, 22 seconds. Look at all those twos in alignment. And I invite you into my process. So please, please, please help me out. And I will keep my eyes open. I will do my best to stay open. But I know that I need not do anything more but to ask for that and to allow for the shift to occur. And they're reminding you, rest. Now, here's the thing. What does rest mean to you, right? Maybe you've got a busy job. Maybe you work the ERs. Maybe you're an attorney. Maybe you're helping people with keeping their soil, whatever. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you're a parent, and that's fine. So you choose what rest means for you. For some people, they can full-blown sit for an hour or take an hour out. For some people, it can only be that moment they can take away when they're in the restroom. And if that's it, again, Spirit meets you where you are. Look at this energy coming in. So I do feel that many of us have already had this influx of energy initially happen already. It started, but I'm seeing here that some of you are actually being told first, hey, by the way, something's coming in. So just watch that. Here it is. Yep, there's the confirmation, because you see how it's further back from his head. Remember, that's you. And here it's right there behind her. So some of you may have already had the download happen. Some of you it's coming in. So we're just giving you a heads up. And for some of you, it's already partially coming into your field. But either way, this is just a PSA. Please refrain from taking any knee-jerk reactions this month. Just because you're feeling something or thinking you're seeing something or whatever, don't jump to conclusions about that's what that person meant when they said that. Oh, I heard this on the news, it means this. Oh my God, everybody is talking about this event and they think that it means this, so I'm gonna think that. No, we're just getting out of all of that and we're pushing all of that to the side. And for the month of July, we're taking a step back. It's individual time, okay? What do they say? A stitch in time saves nine. Yeah, a stitch in time saves nine. So let's, get that stitch going now. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this reading here. If you are curious about how this is going to affect you on a personal level, please go ahead and reach out to me via Etsy. I do offer lovely services, including a live Zoom reading with me. That's fun. I always love those. Those are fun. Anyway, and what else? Either way, God bless you, and do your best and stay positive this month, okay? This week, and this month. Bye.